there, Tenno. I'm Shadow Scythe, and today we're giving the weapon a second look when we get locked and loaded with the Lenz. Now, I felt like it was kind of necessary to do my locked and loaded video on the Lenz, especially after, well, some of the comments and everything that were left on Wednesday's video about it. Because it doesn't seem like everyone quite understands the difference between the segments on my channel. Because now, Locked and Loaded is where I basically give you guys my personal preferences with the builds, which you guys can either use yourselves or use as a foundation to do your own build. However, then there's the simple matter of the fact that the on-the-spot videos are generally the first look at a weapon where I will use it in a brief mission and make an initial assumption on the weapon based on how it performed. That doesn't mean that that opinion of mine is going to be permanent, however. And that was kind of the vibe that I got from some of those comments after, especially when I said that for right now it just feels like mastery fodder. Because for the most part, even now, it still feels like mastery fodder because this weapon has an insane amount of fall off later on. And actually, I don't know why the fuck I just loaded into a mission, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to show this to you against like the generally same scale of enemy from all factions. So, yes, I did just abort.
Operator, you have
actually, I can fix this with where I'm going. So let's zoom out. Let's go to the relay. And then just to avoid having shoot at me once I load in, I will be switching over to Ivara. And then I'm actually going to show you just what I mean about damage fall off when I test this against the 4 enemies at 3 different level increments. So let's fast travel to Samaris. Holy lag. And let's go into the simulator room. Alright. Equip. Let's get Ivara. Huh. Wow. I haven't used that color scheme on her and I couldn't tell you how long. Alright, so first up is an Ancient Disruptor. Okay. Oh. I guess I can actually do this. So, we're gonna pause AI. So we've got that. Now let's get a heavy gunner. It should be over here. Let's get a Corpus Tech. And let's get a Corrupted Heavy Gunner. Enemy levels 60. And simulate. Alright. Now, Generally, this will do the same amount of damage to all of them, since they are nicely clustered together like that. Fleshy targets? Yes. Armored targets? You can see it did it did roughly 10-15% of the heavy gunner's health and like 5% of the corrupted heavy gunner's health. And basically what I'm giving you is I'm giving you the bare minimum of sortie level. So, right there, if it's Grenier, this already has damage fall off without at least stripping the armor. And if they have augmented armor, oh god forbid. Actually, I want to say it's like 75, but we'll put it like mid for 80. Alright. Knockdown. Still the only thing that died though this time was the Ancient Disruptor. Even the Corpus Tech survived. Granted, it did like nothing to either heavy gunner, and it did a nice chunk to the Corpus Tech. And I didn't realize that. I haven't been back here since they did all of the updates, so we're gonna kill enemies, change the enemy level, and now we're gonna go to the maximum, or to the posted maximum sortie level of 100. Fuck me. Okay. And using it against all of them, generally not too bad. And yes, now I am shooting the ground like right at the foot of whatever happens to spawn in the middle. However, generally you'll find yourself doing that too, just as like a main notion or whatever. Alright, so once again, heavy gunner, nothing. Corrupted heavy gunner, literally nothing. Corpus Tech, about 40% damage. Ancient Disruptor was the only thing that died once again. Now, you'll see different levels of damage depending on whether or not, or depending on the rank of heavy caliber, if you happen to be using that, or if you decide to duplicate this build. But as you can see right here, I'm doing close to 800 impact and almost 17,000, well, no, and just over 16,000 blast. Now, yes, I've got a very high critical chance, because that was easily obtainable since the bow's base crit chance is 50. But unless you're pretty much just using this in your run-of-the-mill mid-tier and even like the first sorting mission, really, unless it's like infestation, then For the most part, this weapon, it really isn't much more than mastery fodder unless you're just using it to, like, get a laugh here or there because of the fact that it's general CC with an explosive twist. And I'm saying that just due to the fact that, oh yeah, let me shoot this arrow with a slow bubble that I then have to wait a few seconds for it to detonate and actually do the larger part of its damage. When if you're wanting to CC shit by slowing it, then you could do a max range Snow Globe Frost, Ice Wave Impedance Frost, a max range Peaceful Provocation Equinox, or a max duration Slova. And those four options alone would basically get you the same effect without you having to waste one of your weapon slots, because you could replace this with something that, yeah, it may not kill a cluster of squishier targets as quickly, but in the long run, you're gonna kill more enemies faster using something like the Tiger's Prime, the Sancti Tigris, any version of the Sybaris, the Dread, and I can't believe I'm freaking saying this, the Soma Prime. Nothing against the Soma Prime in any aspect other than the fact that I personally am a bow person. If I can see myself doing damage with a bow, I'm taking it regardless. This is one of those ones that, yes, does it do damage? Or that doesn't do damage? Yes. Is it fun to use? Yes. Is it viable for endgame? At the present, no. Because it is... we'll say it's about 75% effective on Corpus, especially for, like, the actual endgame sortie shit. And yes, it is very effective on Infested. But those are only two enemy types. Because there's still the high risk that comes with using this at close range, where you will easily kill yourself. And I'm saying that with pretty much a vote of confidence, considering I had a full health Iron Skin on Rhino when it wasn't doing this much damage, and it blew through my Iron Skin and killed me because I was standing inside of my area or standing inside of my explosion bubble. So, has my opinion of it pretty much being mastery fodder changed? No. Has my opinion of it for at least general use changed? Yes. For general use, it is rather fun to use just to get a laugh here or there. But this is definitely a mastery fodder weapon that most players will probably still consider keeping just because it's hilarious to use. That's pretty much going to conclude, and you can say what you want, but I'm talking from experience with this thing at this point, because I went through the painstaking effort of sinking 4 Forma into this thing. And just for me to max out heavy caliber, I would have to put another one in. At least. But that's really all I have to talk to you guys about today. If you don't like my opinion on the weapon, unfortunately there really isn't much that I can say. Just from using this thing for a gigantic slew of missions for the past 2 days, my opinion right now is pretty much set in stone. However, that's the thing. Don't let my opinion deter you from the weapon. If it's something that you want to try to make into an N-tier weapon, then by all means, go for it. That's the thing about opinions, is you don't have to listen to them if you don't like them. So, just because I don't like it, doesn't mean that you guys won't. I mean, for crying out loud, take Rhino for example, because I know somewhere along the lines of other videos, I've been talking about, like, preferences with Warframes, and I don't like Rhino. Rhino's a very good frame. I just don't like him. I don't like using him. But, once again, that's my preference. That's my opinion. Well, no, I can't even say it's opinion that he's a good frame, because he is a good frame. That more or less is preference. But, like, for example, me saying that Ivar is the best at stealth missions, or... Well, actually, I'll use that one right there, because... Now, statistically speaking, that's very possible that she might be the best at stealth, just because of the fact that with a max energy pool and the right build, you pretty much have perma-stealth. However, there's a trade-off for that, and that's your movement speed. Now, if you're doing like casual stealth, if you're doing like a casual stealth mission where you don't give a fuck about the time, yeah, Ivara probably is the best. But if you're part of a speedrunning community where your whole thing is to get in, get it done, get the fuck out, then your opinion of the best stealth frame is probably going to lean more towards Loki or Ash. But once again, all of that is just a matter of opinion, much like my opinion of this weapon being mastery fodder. I just wanted to get that out there, show you guys the build that I was using, and to kind of deviate the difference between the Locked and Loaded series and the On the Spot series. Because, once again, the On the Spot series is my first look at a weapon where I make an initial opinion. But then I usually am using it for like the next 2 days just to kind of see if I can deter that opinion based on how it performs with some Forma. I mean, for crying out loud. Take the Jack Kussar, for example. It's a heat-based status weapon. I didn't think I was going to like this thing as much as I do, and yet this is the only melee weapon I've been using since it came out. So, there's that. So, and for those of you who didn't like my opinion on the last video, it's nothing against you personally. I'm just stating this because after reading through the comments, that's kind of just how I felt. It's nothing against you guys personally. I just wanted to get this out there. So, thank you all for understanding, and thank you all for all of the continued support that you guys have given me over these past several months of me doing these videos. It's always nice seeing the feedback you guys leave on the videos, as well as for those of you that choose to subscribe to me on YouTube. So if you like this video for whatever reason, hit that like button and subscribe. If not, before you walk away for who knows when the next time you'll show up, check out some of the other videos on my channel. Something there might suit your fancy more than more than this video did, be sure to follow me on Twitter or player.me to stay up to date with all news IRL and, well, all news related to YouTube, IRL, Twitch, all that fun stuff. This way you guys can get the latest news on upcoming video, upcoming stream, any real life derps that could be causing a delay or possible cancellation for that day. Also, if you guys would like to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, there is a game list link in the description box below. Be sure to check that out if you guys would like. That's the thing. I don't feel pressured into that. That is never the point of that. And until next time, Tenno, screwed up my own outro. Holy shit. That's what I get for trying to record a video after waking up. Alright, so until next time, Tenno, stick to the shadows.